You open the game for 10 minutes. 4 hours later, you're still there. Not because you're winning, you're probably dying, repeatedly, to something you didn't see coming, in a place you weren't supposed to be yet, with a character that isn't strong enough. And somehow, you don't close the game, you try again. That pull, that specific, irrational, almost gravitational pull that Elden Ring has. That's what we're talking about today. Not the graphics, not the combat, the feeling, where it comes from, and what it says about us. Elden Ring was released in 2022, directed by Hidetaka Miyazaki, co-written with George R.R. Martin, the author of Game of Thrones. Two people who understand deeply that the most powerful stories are not the ones that explain everything. They're the ones that leave the right things in shadow, and shadow is everywhere in Elden Ring. The world is called the Lands Between. It was once held together by something called the Elden Ring, a kind of cosmic law, a structure that gave the world order and meaning. Then it shattered, someone broke it, and now everything that was held together by that structure is falling apart. Kingdoms, gods, people, reality itself. You arrive after the shattering, not as a hero chosen by destiny, not as someone special, as a tarnished, someone who was exiled, who lost the grace of the gods, who has been wandering outside the lands between for longer than they can remember. You come back not because you were called, because something pulled you, something quiet and inexplicable, a tiny ember of grace that reappears without explanation. This is the first thing Elden Ring does philosophically that most games don't. It doesn't tell you why you matter. It just pulls you forward and trusts that you'll keep moving. Now let's talk about the open world, because in most games, open world means freedom, more map, more quests, more things to do. In Elden Ring, open world means something philosophically different. It means genuine uncertainty. You stand at the beginning of the game on a cliff, overlooking an enormous landscape. No quest marker tells you where to go. No NPC explains the best route. There's just a world. Vast, beautiful, dangerous, and completely indifferent to your confusion. And that feeling, standing at the edge of something too large to understand, is not a flaw in the design. It's the entire point. Philosophers have a word for this feeling, the sublime, the experience of something so vast and powerful that it overwhelms your ability to process it, but instead of making you want to run, it makes you want to stay, to understand, to go closer even though closer means danger. The sublime is why people stand at the edges of cliffs and look down, why we stare at the ocean longer than is strictly necessary, why we go into Elden Ring's world knowing we will probably die, and go anyway. And then there's the mystery, the way the game withholds information as a deliberate choice. In Elden Ring, almost nothing is explained directly. The lore lives in item descriptions, in architecture, in the expressions of characters who speak in riddles, in the placement of a dead god's body in a place that shouldn't exist. You piece together the story the same way Miyazaki pieced together English novels he couldn't fully read as a child, from fragments, from feeling, from the shape of things you don't completely understand. This is not lazy writing. This is a philosophical position about how meaning works. The things we understand completely lose their power over us. The things we half understand, the things that remain slightly out of reach, those are the things we keep coming back to. Mystery is the engine of obsession, and Elden Ring is built on mystery the way other games are built on tutorials. Now let's talk about why you come back after dying, because this is where Elden Ring does something Dark Souls started, but Elden Ring perfects. Every death in Elden Ring costs you something, your runes, your progress, sometimes your sense of direction entirely. And yet the retry button gets pressed. Every time, not out of obligation, out of something closer to hunger. Psychologists call this the variable reward system. The brain responds more powerfully to rewards that come unpredictably than to rewards that come on schedule. A slot machine is more addictive than a vending machine, not because the slot machine gives you more, but because you never know when. Elden Ring's entire structure is a variable reward system disguised as a game. Every corner might be a dead end, or it might be a weapon that changes everything. A hidden path to a place nobody else has found. A boss that when you finally beat it, gives you a feeling that most entertainment never comes close to. That feeling has a name too. It's called flow, the psychological state where the difficulty of what you're doing exactly matches your current ability. Not too easy, not impossible, just hard enough that you have to be completely present, completely focused, completely alive in a way that ordinary life rarely demands. Elden Ring manufactures flow better than almost anything else ever made, and once you've felt it, the specific clarity of a perfect dodge, a perfectly timed strike, a boss falling after 20 attempts, ordinary entertainment starts to feel thin, flat, not enough, and at the center of all of this is the Elden Ring itself, the thing the game is named after, the thing that was shattered before you arrived. What is the Elden Ring philosophically? It's order, structure, the idea that the world has rules, that those rules mean something, that reality holds together because something holds it. When it shatters, everything becomes possible, and everything becomes dangerous. The gods go mad, the kingdoms collapse, people lose their purpose. This is almost directly the Nietzschean idea of the death of God. Not literally, but structurally. When the thing that gave the world meaning is gone, what fills the space? In Elden Ring, the answer is chaos, ambition, madness, and you. A tarnished with no grace and no explanation, trying to put something back together in a world that has forgotten what together means. Whether you succeed or fail, whether the ending you reach is good or terrible, the game has already said its most important thing. Not in the final cutscene, in every moment you chose to stand back up. The Lands Between doesn't need a hero. It needs someone who keeps moving, who gets knocked down by a dragon, and after a moment of staring at the sky, stands up and tries a different approach. That's not a fantasy. That's just what it takes, in any world, in any life. And maybe that's why you can't stop playing.